Welcome back to Sounds of the Crowd. I'm one of your hosts, G Fields.
Tay Webb.
KK, two of them.
And we got the young bull, Prince, working with us today on the camera. You know what I mean? Yes, he 8 years old, future YouTube star. He running the camera for us today. So shout out to Prince, KK son.
Shout out Prince, man. Shout out. Well, man, let's jump right into it. We got a lot of things to discuss today. First, since we all, maybe not are born and raised here, but we all reside here. Let's jump right into the issues with the Portland Trailblazers. And the possibilities of the Blazers leaving Portland. Tom Dundon, right? Tom Dundon is his name. The politicians and the owner of the Portland Trailblazers. He also owns another team. I think he owns a hockey team, Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
They just won the Stanley Cup. But there's friction, man. There's friction between those two parties. He wants the taxpayers to pay to renovate. He doesn't want to pay, and it's getting to the point where he might lose the Blazers, man.
When this first started getting talked about when he purchased the team, 6 months ago, I was like, there is no way that we're losing the Portland Trailblazers. I'm sitting over here depressed as hell because it's a real possibility that we're going to lose the Portland Trailblazers. And I know KK, he's from Los Angeles. He reps his teams. They got 15 professional teams. No exaggeration. no exaggeration. All sports, you know what I mean? It's about 15 of them things. We got of the big three, football, basketball, baseball, we got one pro sports team, man. And we love the Blazers. Like when y'all can both attest to this. When Dame was doing his thing, when B-Roy was doing his thing, when the Blazers is hooping, the city is on fire. It's good for the economy. It's good for the people. You know what I mean? Rip City, baby.
You said it well. 6 months ago when we was having a discussion, it was, there's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way. But as every day goes by, I'm starting to think, man, it is a possibility.
Hey, that dude's a mark, too. Like, hey, if you live in Portland, bro, Tom Dundon, that's how you say his name? Let me see you outside, bro. Silence the Crowd gonna pull up on you in Lake Oswego or whatever. I'm pulling up on you. I'm pulling up on you. No, but I read some BS too. Like he has a vendetta against the city of Portland because he bought that hockey team in Carolina. He did $800 million of renovations from his company for a pro hockey team. And then he tried to put our city on the number. Well, the first estimate was $573 million in renovations, and he tried to put our taxpayers on the hook for all of that.
Yeah,
where he spent $800 million on a hockey team in Carolina, and like him and his business partner, the way they made their money, no good. You know what I mean? Like I guess he got rich off ripping people off on auto loans. His business partner supposedly built the concentration camps, basically, that they're keeping the illegal immigrants in and made a huge profit off of that. There's not good people, man. And it's just sad because a couple years ago when we were having this discussion, we wanted Phil Knight to buy the Blazers so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And what's her name? Judy Allen, Paul Allen's daughter, didn't want to sell at that time. She passed on Phil Knight. If Phil Knight had his hands on the Blazers, man, it would be amazing. You see what he does in Austin, what he does for the Ducks,
I heard there's a conspiracy theory. You ready for this, KK?
Yeah, I mean,
the conspiracy theory is this: Portland is trying to make a comeback, right? We had COVID destroyed us. All the
talking about economy comeback.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
So downtown, the homelessness, the drug issues, right? We could just say Portland's in shambles.
Yeah.
So a businessman, right, is knowing, lurking from the cut, seeing, okay, there's a city that's in shambles. The politics are divided. The funding's messed up. They have a sports team. All right, let me do this. Let me go ahead and swoop up this team for whatever the price tag is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I demand a city that is already trying to rebuild itself, trying to make the economy pay for more when they already are, when all the money issues are already in shambles. And then what I'll do is I'll make everyone hate each other. The city won't pay. I've got it in legal contract that if they don't pay, I get to move the team with no issues. And he did it. He did it on purpose. Found the team, found the right city, the right the right turbulence of destruction, and boom, you'll be able to snatch it and then leave, and won't be any issues.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
I mean, I don't like it.
That's
I
right
hate
on the
it, but
money.
it's kind of
Yeah.
real. You can tell if Garrett's been kicking it with David all afternoon. He's on his conspiracy tip, but this
Well,
one
I'm just talking about as a businessman, though, right?
Yeah.
If you see
And even-
a distressed property,
Yeah.
you're gonna buy it.
And even the moves he's made since he took over are adding up. So he shorts us on the jersey sales for the playoffs. Never been done on the free T-shirts for the city. You know what I mean? That's a thing everywhere.
Get the fans mad.
Got the fans mad. And then he goes out and gets a superstar, Ja Morant. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, oh, we thought he was nickel and diamond. He's going to get a superstar. But then little did we know he's doing that to find an investor outside in a different city. Ja Morant's a big attraction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A big draw. It's just sad, man, because like as a kid growing up here, the Blazers was a big part of my childhood. Going to the Rose Garden, you know what I mean? Like, and even when the Blazers was bad, like you got to see the best players in the world. I got to go see Allen Iverson. I got to go see Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? And like, and they gonna take that away.
James.
We got to see LeBron James.
They're gonna take that away. Y'all got to go to Seattle.
Seattle ain't got a team.
Not until 2028.
I think what this dude
he won't be able to. You can't just up and leave with a team. It got to be somewhere he can win.
I think his plan in his head. I think he's trying to go to Vegas.
And that's the same year for the Seattle spot, right?
Yeah, I think the Blazers have one more year because the lease isn't up to the end of the year, and I don't see any person uplifting a team. And David Stern's not going to let that happen. You taking a team out of the hometown in the middle of the season. So we're going to have the 2027 season here, but it could be the farewell.
And for the record, man, and you can attest to this because we're Blazers fans, so we might be biased, but I'm well versed. Like I've traveled around, I've played basketball in a lot of different circles. The Blazers fans are nationally known, are nationally recognized. The Moda Center, the Rose Garden, is one of the loudest arenas. Players that come here fall in love with the city. They love the people. And, like you were talking about the city of Portland and the economy, man, I hear a lot of these surrounding areas giving Portland grief. Portland is a beautiful city. I love Portland. You know what I mean? And, like, you're 2 hours from the ocean. You're 2 hours from the mountains. All of it. And, like, it's just a good city, like, and we need professional sports, bro. It keeps people together. One of the biggest conversation starters in the city of Portland when you're out at a restaurant, you a Blazers fan, what the Blazers gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, it's just sad, man.
It is sad.
I think about Prince. I think about Bobby. You know what I mean? We watching Blazers games. We talking about the Blazers. Bobby is my son, Bobby Iverson, and taking him to Blazers games was a big part of what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like taking them to their first ball games and.
Hey man, when push comes to shove, let's go Portland Fire.
I'm definitely taking my daughter to him. No cap.
100%. 100%.
No cap. I'm gonna take my daughter to him.
Yeah.
Good to see her. See that, and they're actually solid.
No, yeah.
I told you
can't knock.
You guys was pushing me, so I made the cut to be a practice player for the Portland Fire. I went to the tryout. They offered me, but I just took a new job and the hours and the money didn't make sense. But I got to meet the head coach. He was an assistant coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers, a British dude. And he was very innovative. And I liked what he had going on, what he was talking about. And it's worked. His system has worked. He plays a different style of ball. It's kind of like the 7 seconds or less Mike D'Antoni Suns that used to go up against the Lakers. Shoot quick, a lot of different player movement, a lot of threes.
Yeah.
Well, kudos, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah.
What else is on the horizon?
KK's got to check in on the case we've been following.
The Nolan Wells case.
Well,
what you got? What's the headlines?
I mean, it's so much stuff. It's like all over the place. At one point, it got to be something serious when the FBI takes over, right? You assuming like it's something serious. I know they did 2 autopsies. One autopsy, the first place, they didn't send all the body parts of the second for the second autopsy to get done in Washington, so they left out the throat. And then you got the red mark on the back of his head. The body was found 2 days later, but there wasn't no decomposed. It wasn't like a decomposed body. So he was assuming, my theory is they hung him somewhere, either hung him or strangled somewhere because they holding on to the throat. They don't. Mississippi is holding on to the throat. Yeah. They holding on to the throat.
So elaborate, because you told me this upstairs. So when you say it wasn't decomposed enough, that rules out drowning. Correct?
That rules out drowning. Yeah.
So we know it's not drowning.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. So it just left you to assume that some is either strangulation or hanging, because it's something with the throat. Because if you're going to send off the body and the body parts, you're going to send it all off. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's still some investigation around a certain piece of the body. And that certain piece of the body happens to be his throat that they didn't send off yet.
Who held
Mississippi held it.
The state of Mississippi.
The state of Mississippi held it, didn't send it off to Washington based on that. And they saying that's usual. That's what happens when it still like has to be investigated furthermore. They'll hold on to certain parts and then they just send the rest, you know? And then, but they're never, so it was a lot of stuff like them kids getting back on the boat. They calling it in saying all the passengers, everybody that came on the boat is still on the boat. Nobody never said he wasn't on the boat. We got one that not with us. The girl, they lied. Then they said he stayed back for a girl. The girl come out and talk to the mom and like, no, that's not the case. That never took place. He actually got into it with one of the guys. So something actually did happen. Then one of the guys was saying, oh, that was me that was arguing, which it wasn't. It was him and the other guy. So it's just a whole lot. It's a whole lot to like stay up on, you know. I just want to know what really happened. Like
how many kids were on the boat?
I don't know the exact count.
Under 20?
Damn, what kind of boat was it?
It was a yacht boat. He was just listening. That's what he was just listening to.
Yeah, this is a yacht, but they did this. This is his regular routine though. This has been his routine for the 4th of July to go out with these same group of guys.
So they've been doing it for years. So they're friends. Yeah, it's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then all of like the deleting out the phone and all that, it just it's just a lot of stuff don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Why you delete some stuff out the phone, delete the whole Snapchat messages out the phone. And the keys now, leaving the keys in the friends having the keys in the phone, that's kind of understandable if y'all jumping out in the water. You know what I'm saying?
You leave it on the boat.
You leave it on the boat. But the catch is, if we got a small knit group, right? If all of us go out and one of us don't come back, we talking about like what happened. It ain't no hush hush, like, you know what I'm saying?
And you noticing it when you call
it. Like, wait, hold on, we missing somebody or what happened? But it was none of that, you know what I'm saying? And it really falls on Mississippi because Mississippi did a horrible job. When this shit all hit the fan, man, they did a horrible job.
So it sounds like it could have been meditated, but they knew what they was gonna do. But then you mentioned something about the fight. So then it's like, was it premeditated?
Yeah,
they did it. They've been doing this for multiple years.
It can be premeditated with the fact of it can be all staged. Could have been a staged argument that led to that. Or it could have been as simple as them playing a prank on them. You know what I'm saying? Let's prank them. Let's get them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's just prank them. And that prank turned out bad. You get what I'm saying? It could have went like that, but we don't know yet because they're not just coming out saying it, and it wasn't just investigated. So the controversial thing is, what would have happened if this was 7 black dudes and 1 white guy?
It probably wouldn't have. Yeah, man. Well,
yeah, that's just something to think about. But then it ain't much to think about. We know. But the family though, it's like all this. So y'all get the body. Once y'all get the body, y'all go through with it, everything. Y'all have the service and everything already. So it's like
the family rushed it.
Kinda. They kind of like accepted, like, well, I guess it was just I guess it's just what it is. Until like, wait, hold on, like this don't add up though. And then you got the NCAAP involved. You got some other people. Their lawyer is like supposed to be like a profound black activist lawyer who helped out with a case out there not too long ago when a 1-year-old got shot and killed by the police shooting into the car. So it's like they jumped on board. Like, no, we want to know.
But look, check it out. So they are going to be well represented. That's good news. But if some white kids are on a 17-foot or whatever foot yacht, you know what I mean? They're going to have money too.
Oh, yeah,
and they're
for
going to try to
sure.
come with
For
a settlement
sure.
to the family and like
Yeah.
less, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One thing that I was just thinking about that I will say is these are not gang members. These are not criminals, you know what I mean? 15 plus teenagers, 10 plus teenagers, whatever it is. The longer this goes on, they're going to start talking.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're going to start talking.
Yeah,
Stories
yeah.
are going to get like, and they're not used to being in an interrogation. The truth is going to come out in this case, I
no,
believe.
for sure. Yeah, no, it will. It definitely will.
At the end of the day, it's a tragic, like, you hate to see something like this happen because it's not just one person that lost his life. All of their lives will be forever affected, and possibly the community, the parents, you know what I mean? So it's like, we just hope that, you know, if it was an accident, hopefully you learn from this accident, but from the sounds of it, there's too many, sounds like a Criminal Minds episode. So, maybe not Criminal Minds, but like a Law and Order episode.
But it just so it also it also show you where the world at though, because like this is taking place, and you see a bunch of other BS on the book or on Insta, but you don't see this type of stuff though. Yeah. Or they ain't having these conversations, or ain't nobody lashing out on the book about this, but you'll lash out about another. The media ain't controlling nobody sitting at home on Facebook or Instagram posting some shit about Donald Trump. What you talking about?
I'm talking about the media controls headlines.
I'm not talking about the headlines. I'm just talking about in general.
Oh, like the community.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. But for me, it's all a facade though. Our community is a fucking facade. Because when the shit happened with George Floyd, we was in a pandemic. So everybody was quick to be like, oh no, we got to Black Lives Matter. We got to stand up and do something. As soon as the world's open and it's wide open and everything going on, you know how many people I asked about the Nolan Wells and there was crickets?
Respectfully, I didn't know about it.
So that's what I'm saying though. But that's what I'm saying.
But I wouldn't have known about, like, I'll just speak in general as far as like headlines. And like, if my algorithm is not attached to that, I wouldn't have known about it if you wouldn't have brought it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can't speak for others, you know, but what I can say is like, if it's not, sometimes if it's not close to home, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
Go ahead.
Because you can't control a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Like somebody, a freak accident, you know what I mean? That happens in another state, or whether it be headlines, you know, there's always the child losing his life. You know what I mean? Like it's like, there's so much of it that happens and I just get numb to it because I'm like, well, it's not going to be fair. It's not going to, the consequences aren't going to be fair to this individual, that individual. What can I do?
Yeah, for me, that shit close to home, though, because that's like Prince, Seven. They go with a group of friends.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they friends ain't going to look like them, especially out here.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? They got to go out there. So for me, that shit close to home, for sure. I mean, even the same, I even worry about that with my godson. My godson, he going to have a group of friends that ain't going to look like him either. You know what I'm saying? And shit, they get treated the same way we get treated low key. It ain't like really no difference. Like we be more harder on them. Truth be told, you know what I'm saying? To push the line. So we call it like tough love looking out, but it's really just like that shit close to home. That shit close to home, man. For sure. Another thing close to home is, Friday I get a call, my mom's crying hysterically, like, and I'm in like graduation for the clients and I answered the phone. I'm like, what's going on? Can't really hear what she said, but my little relative lost her 3-month-old.
3 months.
Took her to daycare, huh?
3 months, right?
Yeah, 3 months, yeah. Took her to daycare. It was her oldest daughter's birthday who just turned 2 that same day, so she can get gifts for the party and whatnot. And a couple hours later, she get a call saying her baby ain't breathing. So yeah, that shit close to home. A lot of shit close to home for me, and it is like the yeah, man. You think about it, it's like the choices we make and the sacrifices we make to do things, like, but we think we're doing the right thing. So I had a client not too long ago talk about like why all the bad stuff happened in the world and like if there's really a God and like this, that. And I'm like, everything happened for a reason. And she like blew up at me. And I respect her for blowing up at me, but I'm also like, I'm a Christian, like not a religion Christian. I'm like a spiritual Christian. And in the Bible it says, don't be a friend of this world because the devil controls the world. And me knowing that is like something I stand by. So like when something happened to kids, it's like, okay, we if we're not supposed to be a friend of this world, the devil controls the world. We gotta have the faith of a mustard seed that these kids is going to heaven with God, I mean, with Christ. And that's how I rock. But this was nothing my relative did. This was like by the hands of somebody else.
Daycare.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I've never been a type that is like not like yeah. I just take a moment of silence for my little relative. Yeah, man. She a trooper though, man. My relative a trooper. She still threw the birthday party yesterday. Then turned around and had the visual. Like, yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And as a father and as a, as a mother, I'm sure it's the same thing. We can all attest to it. One of the scariest things in the world is leaving your child with someone, especially that young. Daycares and it's so scary. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a lot of trust.
I just like just hearing you talk about that. Like, I just got chilled because I can't imagine, bro. Like, I can't. That's horrible, bro. And I don't know. The God piece behind it is confusing for me too. I don't,
Yeah.
the innocent 4-month-old, 3-month-old baby, like.
Dang, man.
Yeah, and then so like grief is funny, man, because grief just comes in stages. One minute you cool, next minute you not. But one thing about life, man, not even about life, about recovery. Recovery taught me how to sit still and just breathe through it.
No, yeah, that grief, man. That grief is like, man. I was talking with Nat the other day about some stuff, and I was like, damn, this is when I would call my boy David, and it just comes in waves. Like everything, like you said, everything be cool. I'll be driving down the street, and then boom, a song will come on, right? And I'm grieving right in the middle of traffic. You know what I'm saying? Like it, and it's just crazy how, you lose some too soon, and it's just like, how do you deal with it?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't. Like, and that's one of the things, bro. I'm 14 years into this shit with my dad. I lost my dad in 2012. I talk about my dad probably every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? With my kids, I do this. My dad used to do this to me when he dropped me off at school. I love you. And I do that with my kids. I talk about Papa Bob so he remembers. But like, one of the frustrating parts, like what you talking about is like, I remember people coming up to me at the service. They wasn't trying to be disrespectful or anything, but they're just like, oh, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It never got better.
No.
It never hurt no less, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have dreams about them. You know what I mean? I still look at my kids and I'm like, they don't get to meet this amazing man, their grandfather. You know what I mean? Like, it don't get better. You do get to a point where you can remember the good times, but there's so many times, like you're talking about with David, like throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, where like, I wish I could have a conversation with my dad. Like, I wish I could ask him for, you know what I mean? Like, about parenting, about finances, just about life, you know what I mean?
But that's the beautiful thing too about recovery. And like, I mean, I can't speak for others groups of recovery and their friends, you know what I mean? But you have some ace deuces to where you can call, you know what I mean, and chop it up with them about the good times, or you can even, and I forget who said it. Cameron might have said some profound shit the other day when I was watching this.
Pause.
Yeah. He said something like the memories of people live on through their songs, right? Their names live on through their songs, like the memories, you know what I mean? And so that's one thing that we can keep, in a righteous place, you know what I mean, is the good times, you know what I mean? That can help keep the memory alive.
That's one thing you just touched on that I want to take a second, man. And we talk a lot of shit on this podcast, we always clowning with each other, but like this recovery shit kind of has a bad rap. There's a lot of different circles, a lot of different cliques, a lot of different meetings. It's big, you know what I mean? I didn't shoot to get 100 pennies. I shoot to have 4 quarters, and I'm just tell y'all both, I'm grateful to have both of you in my life because we have real conversations, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think a lot of people inside recovery or outside recovery have those relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm grateful for it every day. Like, and I don't ever want to take real friendship, real brothers for granted because there was so many years in my life where I didn't have that.
No, 100%. I always wanted it. Ever since I was a kid, I didn't have you guys had, siblings, right? I didn't have siblings, you know what I mean? So like I always had to like yearn to try to find, other groups of friends, and I thought they were my brothers, but they really weren't my brothers, you know what I mean? So like I would treat them like they were brothers, but they wouldn't treat me like brothers because they already had brothers.
It's like that thing where this is one thing I had to learn, and I learned it in recovery, is like my whole life, I expected my loyalty out of others. And so like I would get my feelings crushed and, because they wasn't moving like me. And
I just had that conversation with Natalie the other day. And that was when I was talking about David. You know what I mean? That's crazy. And then it comes down to, but luckily, right, recovery has taught me some things like it's expectations.
Yeah.
I'm going in, am I going into this relationship putting an expectation that they're going to meet me where my loyalty's at? And if they don't meet me where my loyalty's at, then I create this resentment.
But nah, fuck the resentment. I'm going to keep it a stack with y'all, bro. I see you move wrong one time. I see your loyalty fall one time. I'm going to be cool with you. We're in recovery. We live a different life today. I'll say what's up, but you're not in my circle. And that's why I'm giving y'all your kudos, because y'all move like me. If I know something's going down, I could call either of y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm going through something, and I hope you know the same for me. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been through some trials and tribulations where I've been tested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm grateful for that. But I don't like just take it with a grain of salt. Like, I might keep you as an acquaintance or whatever, but I'm keeping score in my head. You know what I mean? I remember how you moved, or I saw how you move on someone else. I know you'd move on me like that. It's cooked.
Keeping it at arm's length.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for y'all too.
Yeah. 100%.
I got a dope one of the dopest sponsors there is.
I think my sponsors dope.
Spiritual Check. Shout out Spiritual Check.
I gotta I gotta get a therapist though, because my mental health. I'm worrying about my mental health. I'm worrying about becoming
emotions.
Yeah, because I done lost so many people, and then like working in the field get heavy too. You processing all that, I just need another outlet, and I feel like tapping into like that mental side of it. Like I'd be alive if I said I ain't got mental health issues.
Facts.
I don't need to be on no medication, like medically, what's they call that, assessed to know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with therapy.
And that's why I'm so grateful for the professional athletes like Kevin Loves, the DeMar DeRozans that came out and talked about that, because mental health is a real thing. You know what I mean? I'll keep it stacked. Like when I retired from basketball, I went through an identity crisis. I put myself in this place called Cedar Hills for a mental health reset. You know what I mean? Because I was so lost, and like I've stayed clean, but I was just like in a dark place, just wanted to sit in my room, and all those things from the trauma from my past was just adding up. And it was like when I was hooping, I could put that all into basketball. That was who I was. And then I didn't know who I was,